Hello friends, today I will show you how to create an ASP.NET MVC web application. So I will be using .NET 8 to create this application. So I'll create a app, make some modifications, run the application and show you the results in the browser. So this is a good tutorial for the beginners I'll take you through the steps on how to write code and then how to run it using Visual Studio 2022. So let's start this. So open your Visual Studio 2022 as I have opened here. Click on create a new project. Here you can see number of templates available. So what you can do is type MVC, and then you can see this project coming on top, ASP.NET Core web app. So select this, click on next button. Here give a name to your application. So let me give a name like this. You can give any name that you want. Leave the rest of things here, the selection you can leave it as it is. Here this you can change this to whatever folder you want this project to be saved. So you can save that to that folder. Click on next button, and here again I have .NET 8 installed, so it is coming up here, and I have some old .NET versions also installed in my system. So all this I can see here. So for this project I'll be using .NET 8, so I'm selecting that. Rest you can leave as it is. If you want to know how to install .NET 8 or if you want to upgrade to .NET 8, I have a video on that. I'll provide the link in the description. You can go through that video. Now click on create button. Now you can see the project has opened. On the right hand side we have the solution explorer, and then there are some other tabs also here. So this is for your source control. Now here you have a number of folders, and so I will briefly tell you what they are. So for example, the entry point is the program.css. It will contain some default code like this, and then what is the controller to which the first request will go, a default request will go. Okay, so this is your home controller index action method. So that is the default behavior. Okay, when no parameters are provided, this is the default where the website will the request will go. Then you have views, models, and controller. So this is the MVC pattern. Here views are the CHTML file, because I'm using C#, so it is CHTML. If you're using VB, then it will be VB HTML like this. But these are the default files created as part of this template. Then you have some model here, you have some controller here. The request always goes to the controller first. Since this is an MVC pattern, always goes to the controller first. Controller will then redirect that request. So for example, in this case, it will go to here, this particular action method, and then it will render the view, which will be inside home index. Okay, so now we are in the home controller. So always that is the pattern that is followed. So if you are in a home controller, so the default view of this home controller will be inside home folder, okay, which is the index view, and this view name should match the action method name here. Okay, so this should match, and this folder name should match with the this one here, the controller class name. So that is how it is. Now there is also a models folder where you can create some C# classes, and then we can use that to carry some data to the controller. I will show you with an example how that happens. So this is the MVC pattern. Then with some advanced programming, you can also make a call to database and then get the data back from database, and then use the model to you can populate the model with the data, and then you can bind the model to a view. So whatever data is coming back from database, it will be displayed in your view. Okay, so so that is called as the model binding. Now this is your MVC pattern, and then you have some folders here like www-root, where you have some style sheets, JavaScript libraries. So all these things will be some Bootstrap, jQuery libraries. So all these things you can find here within this folder. You can add your own libraries also to these folders. Then there is settings here where you can manage a few things like the profiles, and you can manage which browser you want to launch. What should be the default application URL. So those kind of things are managed here. Then dependencies, frameworks, you can add your NuGet packages here if you want to use some libraries within your project. You want to add an entity framework library, or you want some for authentication, you want to add a library, you can do that. So you can add those things to this folder here, the dependencies. So to do that, to add NuGet packages, you go to manage NuGet packages and you do it. If you want to add another project which you have created, you want to add a reference, you can do it here by clicking on this button. If you have a library which is using the old COM technology, right, so which was used some time back, so those kind of libraries also you can add here. Okay, so this is where this is how this entire project structure is of the default structure is. You can also add additional projects. You can click on this solution, you can then say add and new project. So let's say you want to add a database project, or you want to add another library project, class library project, where you want to have your own set of custom classes. So you can do all these things. You can add number of projects here. So to start with, for beginners, just create a simple project like this, and then you can write your code around it. Now let's go and do some modifications. For example, if I go to privacy, I can see there is some code here. So let me first run it and then show you how this will be displayed, right? So you can see this text, and I want to show you how this text appears in the browser. Now you can see the browser has opened here, and by default the home page view is displayed here, welcome. If you go to privacy, you can see this is what is mentioned here. So I can modify this and say that, let's say there is no privacy policy, ABC org. I have done this change here, and in the home page I will do one more change. Let's say the title, I want to say YouTube demo and welcome viewers, and I will delete this line. Yeah, so let's run it. So you can see the home page has been modified, welcome viewers. Go to privacy, you can see ABC org, there is no privacy policy. This is what I have modified. So this is a simple change which you can do to the views. Okay, now the next step that we can do is that we can add a model, and then we can use the model to display some data, some dynamic data. Okay, we can display in the view. So let's go to models folder, add, click on class. I am giving the name of my class as library, add. So now my class is created. So I will create a variable first, which is called as books, and then one more property called as book count. So get set. So this is my property here. So two simple things, right? So one is a variable, another is a get set property. So if we go back to here, home controller, in the index space, I have to create an instance of my model. So library so this is my model instance, and then library dot has books equal to true, library dot book count equal to, let's say, 15. Okay, so there are 15 books, let's say, and then I'm saying that yes, it has some books. Okay, now we will retrieve this in the view. So you add this model, pass this model to the view like this. and go to your index. Here, if you want to write some code here, like the if you want to access the properties of a model, what you need to do is use the @ symbol, and then let's write some code. If model dot, and then let me copy the property as books, then so what I will do is I will then add the property has counts, so which will be book count, and here I have to add like this. So so this will get the book count property, the value that is stored there. It will display it here. So we can add some text. For example, I can say the number of books available are model.book count. Okay, now let's run it and see if it runs or if there is any issue with this. So you can see the number of books available are 15, right? So now this is a simple way of displaying the values that is coming back from model. Actually, this is the fundamental way. You can then improve this. You can add more complex logic, but the technique is same. So you can add more and more things here. For example, you can add few buttons. One button will be to add the books. Another button will be to reduce the books. When someone borrows, you reduce that number of books from the total count. Yeah, so you can improve that logic and create a mini project out of it. So I hope this has cleared some of your fundamentals, and then has shown the beginners, right, how to create a MVC application. If you are starting your career in ASP.NET, then hopefully this video will help you. Thanks a lot for watching.